forgot to turn on the recording. Let me start that one. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so we'll move ahead. So before moving ahead to our session, I would like to discuss what is the agenda for today's. So firstly, we will be discussing about introduction to Power Platforms as uh, like many new joiners or like something they are very new to Power Apps. For them, I will be discussing some of the introduction to Power Platforms. What are those, and how we will gonna use in our day to day. And as if you are in any industry or companies, then you can use that. Then we'll look a small demo. I will not go much in deep in the Power Apps, but I will show you how you can just quick start uh, by the Power Apps. And third will be covered by Mega Hands-on at Work. And at last, we will be having a small quiz. It's generally consists of 10 questions only, and it's a multiple choice question. We will let you know how you have to join and all. And yeah, that's all the flow for today's session. I will go to next slide. Yeah. Okay. So firstly, we'll be discussing about introduction to Microsoft 365 and Power Platforms. Okay. So what is basically Microsoft 365? So I have couple of times I have noticed many of the people will be confused between what is Microsoft 365 and Power Platforms. They kind of mix both, but let me tell you, the both are different. The Microsoft 365 behave as a different entity, and the Power Platforms are different. So what do we see actually is the Microsoft 365 is a comprehensive suite of the productivity tools, and it's based on cloud-based services which is offered by Microsoft. So in the Microsoft 365, you will be getting a journal things like Outlook, Word files, and all Power Platforms, normal things which you're gonna use in daily lives. And like yeah, it's include OneDrive, SharePoint, and Power Platforms as well. But when we look into the Power Platform, it's itself a big suite, like it's a low code tool. So when I talk about Power Platform, so people uh, think that okay, in a Power Platform we have to do coding and all. So it's not like that. If even if you are not from CS background, you can deal with the Power tools as well because it's a low code tool designed to automate the process or whatever the process you're gonna do in your daily day-to-day life. If you're doing some repetitive works, like if you have to send a mail to the same person every day, and if you're doing it manually, then it can be automated using Power Platforms. And other things like whatever the apps you see on your phone, like suppose WhatsApp and all. So that kind of application you can't build on Power Platforms, but a very simple app like storing your employee data or storing whatever the training data on your, if you want to store somewhere using an app, then you can perform it using Power Apps. And same goes for Power BI as well. We will discuss all these components in the later slide. Okay. Yeah. So generally, Power App platforms is basically for the people who want to just automate the process and reduce the repetitive task of the people. And it's also a go-to site where uh, the people from non-CS background can also deal with this, just like me. Okay, uh, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so I told you like about the different power platforms we having. So we will be covering all on, I will be going through all of them hands-on also. But before that, we'll give a quick intro. What are those? So first one is Power BI. So many of you guys are interested in data analytics and all. So this all analytics part will be covered in Power BI, which is business intelligence or integration. So basically, it's used to create reports or real-time insights across the organizations. It means like you can just create a quick dashboard kind of stuff. And if you want to show the productivity of a people, or if you want to just show how much time you are giving to your work, then all these things you can do by Power BI. And yeah, so I will be sharing some resources regarding that too. So then you can get started with the Power BI and all. Let's move to Power Automate. So Power Automate is a must go-to tool for me because in my organization, I usually or used to do my all works using Power Automate, and it's just boost my productivity. I used to just automate all the processes which are being repetitive, and I will be creating some workflows with the Power Automate. So we will be going through it, how you can get started with the Power Automate as well. Because in organization, if you are working somewhere or you want to join any company, or if you're a fresher, then just take a small course about Power Automates and just mention it in your resume. So it may can help you to get land in a good company as well. Because these Microsoft tools are like most of the companies will be using Microsoft tools except Google. Okay, so let's move to Power Apps. So Power Apps will be basically it's a professional grade app. So it's not like your WhatsApp and all. Not like a Flipkart. You don't have to work on like long codes, Python and all. You can just write a simple code. And nowadays it's very easy because you have Copilot and all. So with any AI, you can use even ChatGPT or something, a Copilot for building this kind of apps. Just you have to know the logic. So when I am talking about the logic, it means like what are the outcomes you want to achieve and what are the inputs you have. If you give the same thing to the Copilot or Chat GPT, it will give you all the processes how you have to do. So you can just get started with any of these power platforms by using a simple trick. Uh, just go over the documentation or some videos and just go with the what are the things it will give, the Copilot will give you, and just follow the steps. You will be able to create a good app or just automate the process. The last one is Power Pages. So these all four things which I'm showing here is very important in Power Platforms because there are the basic things for Power Platforms. So Power Pages, I haven't used it much, but you can use it to create a websites and customer solutions and storing and managing data. Basically, instead of this, I used to use SharePoint sites, which is quite good for me and for my organization. In my organization, mostly everyone will use SharePoint site instead of Power Pages. So you can, if you want, you can just try it up. Okay. Okay. So now let's come to our main topic for which we are assembled here. So first one is Microsoft Power Apps. So basically, as I told you, it's a low code or no code application development platform, which basically to like allow business to create an application without extensive coding knowledge. If you don't have any coding knowledge, like if you don't have Python, you don't know about C++ and all, you can go with the Power Apps because it's required no code. Just it will be giving you an interface where you have to use your logic and you have to uh, implement. And nowadays they have implemented Copilot inside the Power Apps. So if you have a Microsoft account, and you can just try it with Power Apps. But I'm not sure they have given the Copilot a free version. In that case, you can apply for, I guess, student that I will be sharing it later. So with Microsoft Power Apps with Copilot, you can just leverage the Copilot capabilities inside the Power App Studio as well by using natural language. Just you have to give a prompt and then it will give you what are the things you have to do. Okay, without wasting our time, let's move to the demo parts. I hope my screen is up. Okay, so as we have discussed these all things, so we will be going one by one. So all you need have to just create a Microsoft account, just like you create a Google account. Just create a Microsoft account. You can just go through the Power BI. So just go to your favorite browser and just search Power BI. Here you can know all the things. Let me search Power Apps as well. Okay. Hmm. So once you create a Microsoft account, the free one, you can see here of a trial of 15 days left. So they will be giving you a trial, and if you are good to use, and if you're interested by creating some of the this interesting dashboards and all, so you can just opt for a pay-per-use policy of them, and you can just have it. And when you go to Power Automate, so it's look something like this. Okay, so before that, in the Power Apps, we will be discussing mostly on the environment part and about the tools, like what are the things you can do inside that, as well as we will not go much in deep. That we will be covering in the next session if we conduct any. Yeah. So coming to Power Automate, so it's a basic need of an organization nowadays because now everything you can just achieve by it. Not everything means the repetitive task that you can achieve easily. So once you go to create, you will find the automated cloud flow, which means it will be running on cloud, so you don't need to open your laptop and all. It will be on the cloud basis, and you can go for instant cloud as well, or you can go for scheduled cloud flow. Scheduled cloud flow is like if you want to do random checking of the something, like suppose if you want to check in Excel or in SharePoint list, if you want like these are the columns I have to check every day, then you can achieve the task by scheduled cloud flow. So here you will find a lot of templates as well. So you can know what are the things you can achieve. Suppose if you want to forward your email to a chat in your Microsoft Teams, that you can do. So what you have to do, just quick take a template and just start building on that. Meanwhile, we'll go to list. Before moving to the Power Apps, one main thing you have to know is so whatever the things you are going to do in the Power Apps that you have to store on a backend. So for backend, for storing the data, you have two things which is provided by Microsoft. One is Dataverse and one is Microsoft List, which I feel like it's a simple uh, as compared to Dataverse. So we'll go with the list. We'll create one list and then we'll link to this Power Apps. Meanwhile, let's move to this one. Okay. So in the Power Automate, when you will choose any of the template, it will ask you a permission. You have to give a certain permission to them and you are good to go. Okay. So once your permissions are done, just click on continue. You can just wanted to do. So inside that the folder and to whom you wanted to forward the mail and the chats. So let me give a quick example. Okay, so you all must have received the invites. So invites is quite of simpler. We'll go to new designer. Okay, so here what I have did is I'm not going to see when you guys are filling that form and then I have to send you a response. So what I did is I used the Power Automate. Simple. So whenever you are submitting a response, um, it will get your response details and it will trigger you on it. Very simple. I have created a dynamic flow in this. I have used some whatever the names you are giving and the format I have already set, and it will trigger your mail. So it's a very simple kind of things. So in this way, I don't have to go in Excel and I have to check, okay, so you have registered form and I have to send you a mail for invite, something like that, that you can achieve by this. So if you want more details about Power Automate, I have already conducted a lot of sessions regarding this. We'll share you the link for that. Okay, so now let's move to our main thing, which is Power Apps. Okay, so before creating these apps, you can just start with data and you can just start with the design or you can start with a blank canvas app. Okay, so you can just start with data also, but if you are going with a canvas app, in that also you can just link out your data. So I will just go with a blank canvas app, and here it will give, you have to choose responsive tablet size or font size you want to make an app. So now we are going to make an app for desktop. So we'll click on desktop one. Why I am creating a list is, as I told you, we will be creating, storing all the data as in Power Apps. Oh, sorry, list. I will just quickly show you and we'll quickly cover in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so here what you can see, you have a screen and screen having the containers. So the containers is what, when you will click on that, it will go and highlight what is mean by container. Okay. So here are a couple of options here, and here you can see on the headings, new screens, themes, and all, and some of the properties. I can't cover all of the things in this session, but we can just get started with that. Okay. So the main thing is that you have to click, if you want to add a data. So just you have to click on add data. So here you can see it will take a Microsoft Dataverse, which is premium. So for that you have to pay. So that's why we'll go with the Microsoft list, which connects to your SharePoint. So it will ask you the permissions for SharePoint, and or you can just paste your URLs. We'll go with the application. I don't think so. Okay, we have. Okay, so what I did is, when you are going to Microsoft list, I created one Microsoft list here. I will tell you how you can just simply create a list. Okay, so just create a new list and oh, okay. So here you can go with the list and you have to just enter the list of your name and you have to just select a SharePoint location where you want to store that list. So for now, I have stored my new list in application SharePoint. In that, I have given a name as a column, age and status. Okay, so when you come to Power Apps, it will ask, okay, so which list you want to link. So we want to link a new app, which is a Microsoft list. just you have to click on connect. Okay, so it is now connected. So whenever you need uh, data, so you can just place it out here. Correct. Okay, so whenever you have to create a link to that Microsoft list, just you have to create a data source and just need to connect with whatever the list you have at background. So let it load. It's not loading. We'll go with simpler one. Okay, so here you can see whatever the things I have given name, age, and status that will be coming here as a title, name, age, and status and content. So why we are using Power Apps is suppose if you don't want to fill uh, Google Microsoft Forms or you don't want to add items like adding here. So you can just create an app and publish on your environment and it will give you option. Okay, so what you have to do is you can just enter all of the things here and just click a button we can see. Okay, let's search for a button. Okay, so you have to just search for any of the inputs and you have to just drag it here and it will be coming as a button. So whatever the things you can just link to this. Okay, so in I will give you a small user case. Like if you want to fill this data and click on submit, it will just save your data all to the Microsoft list. And in that way, you have just eliminated the need of Microsoft Forms. Okay, so just quickly go through this inputs. What are the inputs we have? Like you can select the text label, edit forms, text inputs. So the text label is like if you want to like give some text to the audience or your participants. And edit form, I have used it here if you want to edit it and fill the data. And same goes for button as well. So here you can see if you will click on button, here you can see some properties of the button. So properties and the name. So here you can see the display mode is edit or disable or view. Here you can control all of the things, width and all. You can control how much padding you want or flexible height you want. Even the colors, borders, font of that you can change according to your and if you want some bold kind of things you can all of the things you can control for this button here. Okay, and when you once you will click on this you will get to know this font this uh, code here. So currently it is set as false. It means it is not linked to anywhere. So once you will click on this you can get to know all of the things what the things you can do with the button form. So if you want to change the color, you can see the color which I have set it for this button. And if you want to check padding left, it is 5. And if you want to select font width, so all of the properties of this button can be found inside this, and that can be controlled via here. So here only we will link this data to these all the things. Okay, so I think my time is going out. Okay, so this is how you can just create a simpler Power Apps using Microsoft List and Power Apps. And if you want some more codes, you can just explain, you can use just Copilot for that, because it is integrated now in Power Apps as well. Yeah, so we will be I will be sharing you the documents or the resources for this Power Apps, how you can just get started. So that's all for today's because we have all shortage of time. Yeah, so if you have any doubts, you can just reach out to me or we will cover the Power Apps in our next session as well. Yeah, so now I will stop my sharing my screen and I will hand over to Megha for the networks part. Megha, am I audible?
Thanks. Yes, you're audible. Thanks, Aditya. It was a very informative session. So let's get started with
Yeah, you
how
can.
networks is going to change this whole thing. Okay. All right. I think my screen is visible to all of you. So the agenda of our today's session is very simple and crispy. We are going to learn about what is VNet, what is a network as a whole, and then we'll have a small hands-on on what is XML, okay, and how it will track your IPs particularly. So, what do you know about network? Everybody knows that network is a connection of interconnected networks as a whole. But beyond that, network needs to be secure so that nobody else can use your particular dedicated IP. Nobody uses your particular dedicated MAC addresses, or even they get their data, your data. Okay. So basically, network is secured to, to just abolish that network breach as a whole. So we'll have a simple, idea of what is VNet. So VNet as a whole is is a service by Azure. Okay. So VNet is a service by Azure. So what it does is, let's suppose take an example of two companies. There is one bank and there is another bank named as HDFC and ICICI Bank. Okay, one is ICICI Bank and one is HDFC. Well, I'll take an example of HDFC banks as they have the most secure networks as a whole. So, what happened that they want to create a virtual machine. They want a virtual machine for their resources to be published in Azure as a whole, and then they want that their data is available 24 into 7 to the user. Okay. So what they will do is they will just go, can you, I don't know if we are able to see this. I'll just use a highlighter or a laser pointer. So this is suppose this is the regions they want to create. Let's suppose ICICI Bank wants to create in US West and also in East Asia, okay, into these regions. Similarly, HDFC also wants to create the same exact thing in the US West and East Asia also. Okay, now what happens if there is a power down? If there is something mishaps happens in one of the regions, that is US West, both will shift to East Asia, and there will be a lot of load because both the banks have a lot of customers. So everybody will come, everybody will fetch the application. So what it will do? It'll actually is throw you an output as an end user. It'll throw you an output of error because you're not able to connect with the site. So to abolish this whole scenario, we use VNet. Now, what VNet does is they have zones, dedicated zones. If you're trying to create a VNet with the help of VNet as a whole, we create zones. Zones, what they do is you have selected a particular IP within the range. no other user, no other organization can take the IP. Example, if I have taken an IP of 10, I don't know, I'm not able to write properly over here, dot 1 dot 1 dot 0 slash 26. Okay. So within this whole IP, within this range, nobody else, nobody other organization can take this IP. Okay. So VNet, what it does is it helps the user or an organization to get a dedicated IP for themselves, through which they can, have their data secured. Nobody, no outsider can enter this or fetch the data within this IP addresses, and the other IP will be secured as well for the other users, okay, or the other organization. With the help of zoning, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, within the CVNet, we create zones, and each zone is dedicated to one of them. Okay. Let's suppose this is the zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. I've given this to ICICI Bank, and rest I can give it to any of the zones. Rest I can give it to HDFC Bank, no matter what it is. But this IP or this range is not used by any other except ICICI as a whole. Okay. So how it helps as a the ingress or egress of traffic, the cross connection, or bi-directional data exchange will be quite easy, will be quite secure, and you'll not be able to find out. It is basically platform as a service benefit. So you won't be able to fetch the data of the other organizations because there are multiple users and they have ample of data over here. So secure this data, it is very important to have a dedicated server or a dedicated channel that does not allow any other person to use it. Okay. So an Azure Virtual Network provides the fundamental building block of a private network in Azure. This service enables Azure resources like virtual machines to securely communicate with each other, the internet and the on-premises networks. Virtual network delivers the scale, availability, and isolation benefits of Azure infrastructure while maintaining the familiar network concept you use in traditional data centers. Okay, so you can get the idea that you have a virtual machine, you are connected with it a VM, and the VM helps you to have a dedicated zone where nobody can take it. Even it's not available over here, this is the zone number 2 of any other region you can use. Okay, so this is the simple concept. Now, there are multiple features of VNet. One of such is the firewall configuration. Now, what is a firewall? Does anybody know? Can you write it on the chat box? I'll be very happy if you can write it. Okay. So, the firewall config. What is a firewall as a whole? Firewall is a hardware or a software that helps you prevent from, IPs that are not trustworthy. As a, like simple example, if you are trying to, if you're trying to search on Google or somewhere else, if you have a proper firewall configured in your system, you won't be able to search any IP which is not secure. You'll say, if you want to go, you will get an error kind of thing, and you will get urgent or maybe a red mark over there at the top of your IP, where the whole address URL is present. This shows that the site it's not trustworthy, and you might face any kind of cybersecurity related issues if you go inside this particular channel. So this is the idea of how they avoid people from entering to any unconfigured channel or unconfigured web page or a website. So this is one of the features of VNet. they configure the firewall. It also prevents users or the people within the organization to click on links that are not actually made by the within the organization, or they are from outside, to prevent data loss. Okay. So what is a firewall? The data flows in out of the service device through what we call the ports. A firewall is what controls what is, or more importantly, it is kind of a port. Okay, it is connected to a port. Now you know that every device has a dedicated port, whether it's port 40, port 48. You might have heard, okay, if you are configuring, or if you want to send a data to HTTP, there's a dedicated port called AT. Okay, so the same way, firewall also has a port, and it secures that particular port. Okay, by checking what is the IP address, where it came from, uh, what is its destination, and what is the encrypted data as well. Okay. Now, one of the features that firewall uses is the biasing host. Now, biasing is a kind of RDP, remote desktop. What it does, if you want to, if you don't have a public IP and you still want to open your Azure virtual machine, you can still take a help of Bison host. What it does is it gives you a virtual platform with all the necessary, like if you have a Windows server or maybe Linux OS, they will give you a platform and they'll give you a screen where you can work without a dedicated public IP. Okay. And it is much and more secure. If you want for sessions like, let's take an example, if you are doing any research on any kind of chemical, okay, but you want it to be dedicated to your system only, and nobody else can use it. You have a dedicated ID and password for it. But let's go for a worst case scenario. He password is stolen by someone. Okay, so still they will be able to fetch it from their own device. But what Bison does is, until unless you don't have that particular dedicated IP through which you are trying to open it, if your system IP is 10.1.1.35 and somebody, that X person, has a IP of 10.1.1.86, they won't be able to open. So this is how much secure a Bison host is. Okay. So you can connect it with any kind of VM, any type of VM which you have already created. So unfortunately, I actually wanted to have this a hands-on, but due to my Azure subscription has expired, I won't be able to do that. But again, we have a very easy and fun way of teaching you a hands-on on how a data is transferred and how the IPs are tracked. Okay. So if you want, you can make a note and you can try it later on as well. Okay, it's very interesting. You'll love it. So the necessary things that I'm using over here are, you can write it, Cisco Packet Tracer. The second thing is Azam, and the third thing is Wireshark. Okay, so does anybody know what Wireshark actually does? Feedback. You can write it on the chat box as well. I'll love to see the answers. Okay, so nobody has a book on anything. What is a Wireshark? Do you know? All right. So Wireshark is a monitoring tool. What it does is it tracks the IPs that you have visited recently. Okay. It's as simple as it. I've already made a small demo over here. So this is a router. Okay. Router. We have named it as router 0. And we have the IP, dedicated IP of 192.168.1.1. Okay. With a subnet of 255.255.255.0. No, there are multiple devices that can be connected within the routers. So what router does it? It takes data, or it takes the internet from the service provider, and it routes to your system. And within it, we need one more device, which is called as a switch. Okay. This switch, what it does is it helps you to connect multiple devices and create a virtual LAN. That means if I want this IP to have particular IPs configured, if I want that ये बस Google कोई search कर सकता है, and this one can search anything on this web browser or anything in the entire world. So I'll give it that kind of access, and I'll give it that kind of access. To create that kind of access, we use switches. Okay, we create a virtual LAN. So we connected a router with two devices. One is client PC and one is server PC. Okay. Here we have I'll show you. This is the PC. This is the server that I have created, and I have named it. It's not. It's actually a server PC. I have given it an IP address of 192.168.1.120. Okay. The same way, I've given the IP of 192.168.1.10. Okay. Now let's see if they both are communicating properly or not. How we will check? We will just try to ping one of the things. The command prompt will type what was the IP address of this device. It was .10. Now so you can see reply, it's coming. So what is the actual idea here? That packets are sent from this client PC, because client PC ka IP was 192.168.1.10. Okay, and this device server ka IP hai, it's .20. Okay, with that you can easily understand that these two are communicating with the help of router. Okay, and to check that, the easiest way to check if a router, switch, and all the things are connected, I'll just erase this, and you will check that the connection between these two are stable, but we are not able to ping it because there is no any dedicated person over here who is assigning IPs to these people. Okay. Now another thing that we can understand is exam. Okay. Let's see. So I have already conferred exam. So there is this simple, very simple application, HTML source code. Okay. And I'll try to open it with Edge. Okay. So this is a demo bank. This is a small HTML program, you can say. And I have my Wireshark open over there. Okay. Okay, let the loop back and talk. Once I open, I'll write anything of my wish, ID and password, because there is no any kind of restrictions. And I'll just click on login. Okay. Now, when I go back to the Wireshark, I'll find some amazing things over there. We have to click on Wi-Fi, and we have to click on adapter for loopback traffic capture. So what is happening over here? Adapter for loopback. What is the meaning of loopback? Loopback means the data is sent back to the system itself, because the IP dedicated over here is within the system itself. Okay, that means the manager IP fetch here, the IP that I have fetched over here is in the system itself. I don't have to go to any server or any other link. Even if I want to ping or even if I want to search on Google, you'll find the IP address in the Wi-Fi. But currently, when we're talking about this loop app, let's open it and we will find an IP of 147. Let me show you the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Sorry, 127. So we will find this particular IP if we are able to find it or not. It's not displaying right now. What is the problem? I don't understand. But it should actually show it over there. An IP dedicated like 127.0.0.1. Okay. So this kind of IP will be shown over there. Okay. It's not showing. I don't know why. That means this is called a loopback IP address, and it's always points that this in this system your computer is talking to itself. You simply know that my HTML document is talking to itself because I have this HTML dot HTML.com file, the HTML docs bang.html file in my my files itself. Okay, in a dedicated C folder. So I know that when I'm trying to loop or when I'm trying to get information from here, this particular IP is only fetched. It'll take some time, but I'm sure that it'll give the 127 output. Okay. Anyway, so this is how we'll get the output. Maybe currently I'm not getting due to some glitches, but yeah, for sure it will get if you're trying to get some or fetch some IPs from here itself. Okay. And only one condition this will happen if you have exam. Okay. So this control panel, what it does, it will show what all files that you are connected within the within your device and what are the dedicated folders for it. So I know that I created a folder within exam htdocs. Okay. So there are multiple or other applications as well, which I can open, obviously, and I can use it by myself. So if I use any of these applications and I want to trace what is the loopback, I'll get I'll get the value in the Wireshark. But sometimes it doesn't get. Like yesterday also, I wasn't able to get that particular dot 192.168.1.10 of 5. I wasn't able to get it. But currently I am able to get the 190. As you can see, the gateway. So it happens. It's not a big deal. Sometimes it can take a loop back, and sometimes what happens is it will fetch the IP from the Cisco packet trace. But it shouldn't be doing that because the Cisco packet trace data is not connected to exam. Okay. It should be connected. Both must be connected, and then that's the value we are going to get. Anyways, this is how we end it. So with the help of this hands-on, I think you will be able to understand that how the communication within the router and the system are taking place and how the any kind of file that you have created can be traced on Wireshark. Or let's suppose if we just stop this one, okay, and we have another IP that you can fetch it on Wireshark. Just do one, just do one homework, okay. Go to Google, download Wireshark, and then take the IP of the Google and trace it, and search anything over there in the command prompt. Okay, in the command prompt, you can ping any of the IPs that you want, and you just trace it on the Wireshark as well. Are you able to get the same IP over there? He'll get the value ACK and CSYN. These both the this both the commands, or this both the you can say the commands as a whole. These both commands help you to recognize that the IP was successful, the data was given to it, or the data was received from it with a status code of 200 OK. It says that yeah, the IP was correct and you are able to fetch the data properly. And and any other kind of status command, you'll be able to find it, and the details are already written in Wireshark itself. I'll just show you. So here is this. So my IPs are starting from 192. See, the same thing I was telling you, that 192.168.1.10. Okay, the same IP of my Cisco packet tracer. I was trying to ping it. Now I'm getting it. I'm not getting a loop back. Reason that I have dedicated it over here. Okay. Sometimes what happens that the loopback, like yesterday, my loopback was working. If I tried to trace that particular file, I wasn't able to get the value, this particular value that I was trying to find. I wasn't able to get, but currently I'm getting. The reason is sometimes your exam server works properly and sometimes not. Okay. So you can any of the answers. If it's 192.168.1.10, the IP of the client, okay, or maybe 127.1.1, both the IPs are correct. One states that yeah, there is a loopback, and the other states that yeah, your IP is pinging properly. Okay, so both the answers are correct. You will get either this one or either that one. You have to search and you have to find it by yourself. Okay, so this is how we end the session. I hope you liked it and you will for sure try it by yourself. Okay, thank you. Or do we have any kind of
Yeah.
Q&As?
Yeah, thank you so much, Megha, for your insight. It's what just amazing. We have enabled Q&A for all the participants. If they have any question, they can just drop in that because I don't know why our meeting chat is not working. So they can just ask in Q&A. Okay. Well, okay. So we'll quickly move to the quiz. And if you have any questions, just feel free to drop in the Q&A session. I will just quickly share my screen. Uh, okay. So there will be 10 questions inside that quiz. It will be based on the sessions we have conducted, like Power Apps and networks. For every questions, you will be getting only 10 seconds. So be very sure that you just respond or just click a right option in within 10 seconds. Is my screen up, Megha? Can you just confirm?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, we'll start with the quiz then. Okay, what I will do is since let let me share it again. Okay, so we will be sharing all the resources for the session, like all the links and all we will be sharing. For this quiz, I'm gonna share the link in the chat as well. So can I go ahead and let me drop that in group. Okay, so I can see three of the names here. I guess we have 19. So let's wait for more participants to join. So we have 9, 10, 11. We have 19. Maybe more can join. Oh, okay. So now we have 15. I guess we are good to go now. Or rest of the people can join in between if they want. So we will just start the quiz. So before starting the quiz, let me tell you, you will be getting 10 seconds for every questions, and it will be covered. All the questions will be from our session. So we'll start. Here you go. The first question will be on your screens. We got one answer, five answers. Okay. This is basically used for building custom business apps. Yes, Komal, you can just write in a Q&A or Q&A, you can write your queries. Okay, let me provide. Okay, so the right option was building custom business apps. Let's see how many people have got the correct answers. Okay, so Vian Kutis is at top now. Second one is Aditya. Let's move to the next question. Come on, the time is going up. Yep. So it's a SQL server because all of them are not related to the Power Apps. Let's see who is on top now. Okay, Venkatesh is still on top. Second one is Aditya. Uh, Kamal, you can just ask in the Q&A what are the things you wanted to ask. Biswanath, just you have to select the correct options in kahoot.it, not in the Q&A. Let's move to the next question. Is my screen up? Megha, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, okay, got it. Oh yeah, so for this question, the power function fx was the right option. So I guess no one has given the correct option for this. Okay, no problem. We can move to the next question. Come on, we have discussed this, I guess. Yep, it's Canvas app. Let's see who is on top now. Venkatesh is still on top. Let's move to the next question. Okay. Usually have to reply in the Kahoot app, not the Q&A. Okay, so for this, the right option is enables apps to integrate with its data source. Let's see who's on the top. Okay, still leading. Loki is on third now. Great. Let's move to the next question. Okay, right option was router. Okay, Aditya is on top now. Venkatesh is on second. Okay, great. And Ankit comes as the third number out. Aditya Sharma has the correct answers with the three straight. Let's move to the next question. The seventh question for you. I guess Megha have discussed this so much time. Still, only 7 people are correct. Okay. So now, oh, Aditya is still leading. Let's move to the eighth question of a quiz. Oh, yeah. So correct answer was TCP as well. Okay, so let's see who's on top now. Oh, great. Ankit was on top now, and Kosik on second. Great, guys. Oh, Kosik has a 5 correct answers in a row. That's great. Let's see. Let's move to the second last question of the quiz, and let's see who will be the winner in the last question. Oh, great. We got a 12 correct answers. Let's see who is on top now. Oh, damn. Ankit is still on top, and Kosik on second. Great. Uh, okay. So we are gonna play the last question, which can change all this scoreboard. So, and it will be a very easy questions. So let's see who will answer correctly on your screens. Damn. Oh, Bill Gates is the CEO of Microsoft. Damn. Oh, Steve Ballmer also. Someone go for Sundar Pichai as well now. Nice. Okay. So let's see who is the winner of this quiz. So on podium, we are on third number. We have Venkatesh. Congrats, Venkatesh. Second, we have Kaushik. I guess Ankit first. Uh, yep. Great work, guys. Congrats. Once again, congrats, Ankit, Kaushik, and Venkatesh. And thank you for just joining and playing this quiz. Okay, so now it's time for feedback. Okay, so what will happen in the feedback is this feedback, you have to fill this feedback form and you will be getting, you have to just fill this feedback form. Let me just close this. Okay, guys can just fill out this feedback form and you will be getting your certificates on this spot within 1 minute on your mail ID. So just fill your correct email IDs because I have seen a lot of people will be filling a different email ID and they will just reach out to me like they are not getting any certificates and all. So be feel free to scan this QR and just fill the form, or I will drop the same in the Q&A as well. Let me drop that. Okay, I posted in Q&A as well. From there also, you can just directly fill out the feedback form, and with the correct email ID and your names, you will be getting certificates on your mail on the within 1 minute. Yeah, Kamal, you can can just I will just enable mic for you all so that you can ask your questions. Let me do that. Yep. Now you're good to go. If you have any questions, you have your mics enabled. You can just go ahead and ask the questions. If anyone have, they can ask. And also, guys, feel free to share your certificates and feedback on LinkedIn. I will be sharing the link of me and Megha's LinkedIn so that you can just share your feedbacks or certificates and just not do not forget to tag us.
ये आपका लिंक्डइन अकाउंट कौन सा है सर? मतलब
Yeah, that I have shared in the Q&A. Can just go through that.
ओके.
Yeah, so same share the same thing in the WhatsApp group as well.
ओके.
So I hope you all have filled the feedback form.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so thank you all for joining today's session. That's a great pleasure for us to host a session for you all, and we will share the recording of the link on your mail IDs after this session. Yeah, tell me, anyone have any questions? Stop recording.
सर ऐसे ही कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, मतलब एक आउट ऑफ दिस सेशन.
Let me stop the recording. Yeah,
ओके.
now you can ask.
हाँ